Hello, welcome to another tutorial. This one is for a content builder system. Not all websites have this. It's sort of a new thing. So a few websites have it. And there's a few different systems. So they generally work pretty similar. Basically, once you come into a page, I'm going to edit this home page here. Under the main content area, you scroll down, and there's something that says page options or content builder or something like that. And basically what it allows you to do is add different sort of sections or chunks of information, data, images, etc. In a sort of organized fashion. So you can see here I use the content builder on this home page to build basically this little title header here, and then these couple different blocks here, different blocks. So basically, generally there should be some way where you can add an item down to the content editor, and there's a list here. Accordion is sort of like a list where you have maybe a few topics, and they click on one of those and it kind of drops out and expands and gives more of a description. A block quote is a kind of a fancy way to display a quote. Call to action is generally some sort of highlighted box where you're trying to get them to do something. Usually it's, buy this, contact us, do this, and usually you have a little description, text, and then a little bit of a text for the button, and then it goes somewhere. Clients, this is if you have some kind of client system where it displays different, famous clients. Code, this if you're trying to insert code from, say, like a YouTube video or some other website that gives you a little snippet of code that you want to drop in. Column, this is if you need to set up like columns of different sections, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Contact box, just a little contact form for somebody to... I'm sorry, the contact box is where you can put in your phone number, address, sort of thing, and displays it in a specific way depending on your layout. Contact form is a little form where they can fill out to email you. Content, or it might be called page content, is basically if you add that, it's going to display anything you type up here in that particular box that you put it in. If you do use that, you want to come down here. There should be some sort of hide content area, and you want to turn that on or off. Otherwise, it'll display the content above all this, and if you happen to have a content box in that box. If you don't have this, and you want to put stuff up here, it should generally display above all this stuff you set up on the page. So you can kind of play with that and see what works best for what you're doing. Divider just kind of creates a nice line or space between the boxes. FAQ can kind of be like, again, another drop down where you have the questions, you click on it and it expands down. Feature box might also be some sort of promo box. Depending on your system, these will work differently, but usually you have some kind of image or text that's sort of featured in a cool way. Image is just merely showing an image. Sometimes they'll have kind of a special effect on it. Info box, just a way to display important messages. Latest post will show like recent blog post in a nice list. A map you can put in for like a Google map. Our team, if you have this extra thing set up, it can display team members and or like basically your staff with their pictures. Portfolio, if you happen to have a portfolio, usually used for art galleries or photo galleries. Pricing item kind of displays where you can display some general services and prices in a kind of a cool table. So basically when you click on something, I'm going to just do a call to action. You add item, it drops it down here, and you can usually just move this around and position it where you want it. Let's see, there we came over here. So usually you can just drag and drop. Some of them have an actual little icon you have to click and drag on for the move. This one has a delete. Usually there's some kind of little button that actually edit the properties of it. So here's this call to action, so you can, it's kind of self-explanatory. Image, you upload the image that you want, just like you're doing the content editor where you insert an image, and then you can put in text, a title for the button. You have to kind of manually type in the link to the page you want it to go to. Class, you're probably not going to do this kind of advanced stuff, and height you can just leave to auto or set to a fixed dimension which is already preset in the system, and then simply save the changes and it'll lock it in there. Now you can see these all have these numbers: 1/4, 1/2, 1/4. This just basically says how wide or how much space can it take up. So you see the divider, I'm going all the way across. This call to action, I've got all the way across, divider all the way across, and then I've got these 3 boxes, so they're in thirds. Then I got a full one, and then I've got a quarter and a half, and this new quarter I set up. So usually there's some way to adjust how big they are. Basically, they can be a quarter, a third, a half, 2/3, 3/4, or full. Some systems have fifths, but not too many. So say I wanted this to be 2/3, and then maybe I added a, I don't know, an FAQ box, and that can be 1/4, so it won't quite fill up the space, or I can take it up to a third. Occasionally there's items that just won't go any bigger or won't go to certain sizes. For example, this testimonial slider can only go up to half width, just the way it's set up. And basically once you've got those arranged, you can drag them, drop them wherever you want. You just save and update the page, and it'll drop them in there. And that is how you use the editor. Again, just come up here, select what you want, add it, move it around, size it, edit the properties, fill it in, and update it, and it'll show up. And that is it. Thank you, and let me know if you need any help or have any questions.